Sorry about that. I don't know why that did that. It did it again. I have on my cart here future projects or things I'm still working on. I got the Timmy journal down there. I put it off to the side because I'm getting ready to start on Halloween. I was too excited to do that. In there is my scrap lace. This drawer is the same. But this drawer holds all my Gina K inks and my Simon Hurley ink. That's just a silverware storage container. But it works perfectly. I put this little vintage table in here. So I've got my paper scissors, my Timmy trimmer, and just some stamp cleaner and baby wipes down there. All that's the same. Got, artwork. So this shelf has changed. So all the stuff in here is like the Timmy ephemera and whatnot. And like paper dolls, and this is flowers, this is birds, and this is mushrooms and leaves. Down here is embossing stuff. And, may not be embossing stuff. I think it's down here. This is, I covered it with Timmy paper, this box, and then painted it with a walnut stain, and it has my pops of color in there, except for the ones that I have put up for Halloween. But the rest of that is embossing stuff. So, yeah, all this is like ephemera type stuff. My shelf pretty much hasn't changed, except for I added these two little vintage kitties, and they open up. They're little, they have, well, I can't open it one-handed, but this one has a ball of yarn in there, I think, and that one has something else that goes with it. And then a little piece of artwork that I did with bats and clocks. Kind of remind me of steampunky, stuff. I made this. I added that photo, which is a Victorian photo, and then made that scrapbook paper. So this really hasn't changed much. I did add a picture, use that same scrapbook paper and put a key in there. And then I've got my little shelf here. And then this is a vintage hairbrush set. I've had this forever. It's from the Victorian era. All this is the same. I moved that over here. This is wine corks. I don't drink myself. I don't know where I got them from. I think they came in a grab bag, but I just put them out for decorative purposes. That still has my bookbinding stuff in there. My little shelf has changed a little bit. I had to take some of the weight off because it was having a hard time sitting up there. So I just put my wood stamps here that have the leaf decorations on them. And these two little guys are Kermit the Frog from Disney Doorables. Kayla gave those to me. Sewing machine table has pretty much stayed the same. This cookie tin, turn around, actually houses my buttons now. All there, because, I think everybody grew up with, a vintage cookie tin as their button container or some sort of sewing. I've got a shelf that I'm going to put up eventually over here, because I want to get these into a mason jar or something. This pretty much is the same. Like ribbons and lace and twine and a little bit of yarn. My material. and a bobbin case, my acrylic ruler, and my little mini iron. I made a sewing drawer myself out of a planter and a handle. So I keep my pins, safety pins, and my snaps, and that's still the same. These still house my books. I do want to get a curtain to put across here though, so that that's not really visible. And I put this dresser in here. The dresser itself isn't particularly vintage, but you know, it is what it is. I found this lace piece today. I have all of my laces in here, all of those, and this just houses my tools and envelopes. This is all of my stamps and my stencils here. So, and then I made this, well, I didn't make it, it was out of wood, but I spray painted it gold. Fussy cut out some butterflies from some scrapbook paper, and I have tags, the pictures. I've got a passport here, index cards, Rolodex cards, and that's what these two things are too, Tim Holtz, and guest checks and time cards. But this is where I house all my dies and embossing folders, my electronic machine, and my mini in there. On this side, I have white, cream, and black cardstock, and then vellum and like specialty vellum and like foiled cardstock and whatnot, and a paper bag. In here is my other die cutting machine, my mint tape. These are like cleaning cloths, Swiffer cloths that I use for embossing, and this has scrapbook paper and paint chips that I can use to die cut with. In this drawer, I have all of my scrapbook paper. 6x6, 6x8, 8x8, Tim Holtz backdrops, 12x12, and that's the other signature that I didn't use for the Timmy journal. In here, I have my scoreboard and my rotary trimmer, something else. Oh, just regular copy paper that I use to make tea-dyed paper with. Tea or coffee dyed. And then this is all my coffee dyed and specialty, like handmade paper and whatnot. This dresser had water damage. It was in my closet. Had water damage, and we can't really use it for anything else, so I thought, well, I'll just bring it in here for extra storage. So, and it keeps dust and stuff off the paper, so yeah. So I really, 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 really love, oh, and I got this little photo here. This is my happy place photo, and I made this little piece here out of a vintage cameo, some scrap lace that I had. I actually cut it off of this. It was a table runner, and I attached it, Fussy cut that out, and because it already had the eyeballs, and glued it to cardstock. Sorry, I dropped something on the floor. So yeah, and I got this little bitty mason jar here that I keep skeleton keys in. Off to the side there. But yeah, so that is what has changed. There's nothing in those baskets, so I may just keep them for decorative baskets, so I might get some fake plants or something and put up there. Because I don't really utilize that shelf because it's a little too tall for me. But yeah, so I might do that. But there it is in all its glory, and I love it. it is vintage, it is me, and yeah, eventually I will change that desk out because it's not vintage and it doesn't match the rest of my aesthetic in here. That's not technically vintage either, but it's farmhouse and I like it, so anyway. But yeah, so that's it. So I hope to see you guys really soon. And we will get started on Halloween stuff. Bye!